Hey guys, it's Ben with another VOD review today. I'm going over Tom's review from the Sim Discord. A little bit odd, it starts it's been game, but it's pretty much fine. It's actually my second go recording it because of audio issues the first time. And the first thing to start, you're holding down W and S. You're not actually strafing, and there's a Widow on the enemy team. Going W and S, you're basically standing still against an enemy Widow, and then you are literally standing still. You should be dying to headshots. Like, that looks like the junk killed her, but and also, I'm not sure if you guys in the recording could hear it, but
I'm just using teleport to slow him down a bit.
Using teleport to slow them down, I think this is the worst idea ever. It's just terrible. It's a huge waste of resources. You're maybe stopping them for less than a second and burning your entire TP cooldown. This is a really important resource and you're just wasting it for just the smallest distraction. You're not giving them all a charge, but I think this is just the worst idea. People have talked about it as an idea, like using TP as distraction. I just don't approve. And here you're just kind of standing in more road, but fine. You generally don't want to try and throw turrets across here when the enemy is looking at it. You could also just be teaming up here and providing better Widow pressure and actually putting these turrets down safely. And you're also just getting headshot because your movement's bad. Once again, you're not really moving much, standing still for a moment, and you're doing very, very small AD movements when you do. You should be holding them a little bit longer when you're actually trying to strafe Widows between A and D, and probably just trying to make it inconsistent, and there you just stand still while placing TB and you die because you were standing completely still while placing it.
Video is on the left top.
And here you're standing still and then you're jumping against Widow. Once again, you should die for this. You're standing still and jumping against Widow again. You should be dead again.
Good job.
That turret spread's pretty much okay. You continue standing still.
Ryan going red side.
And then you're walking to Moira Orb. I actually say this later, you're trying to charge Mercy ult, but the thing is, Moira ult charges faster, and Mercy is neither close to her ult, nor is it particularly impactful, so this just isn't a very good decision, and this is a bad call out.
True.
And also you're standing too far forward spamming here. You're standing over here. You don't need to be this far forwards when spamming. You're not really trying to M1 anybody. You can actually stand where you are, or even further back in the back corner of the point when spamming. You don't need to be those far forwards. And you don't have cover when spamming here. So once again, you're making it easy for Widows to headshot you. And while I was talking, I missed one thing.
True.
Besides just being out of position. So Orion shatters you here, and if you're paying attention, you hear him shatter before he does it. You can actually jump and hold any of your movement keys to at least hurl yourself in a little arc, and so you can lay on the floor somewhere else, and just so you're not completely stationary after he shatters you. It can make you a little bit more difficult to pin, which actually would have saved you here from Pulse. Let's actually go back here. So once again, Widow on the high ground. You're walking straight lines, standing sort of still.
Somber left side. Not anymore.
Could be dying to Widow more, but and your movement here's a little bit slow against the Tracer.
Thank you, Mercy.
I do like the idea of throwing some turrets down, though. I would actually put them on the floor here instead of high ground. Like, let's see, back again. So right here, the Tracer, you're just not hitting her. I'd actually throw them down on the floor around you instead of doing a proper turret spread. You actually slow down the Tracer and save yourself. And having turrets on the ground in general isn't a terrible idea, just for variety to mix it up. And here, you actually have you already have a good turret spread.
Barrier for the next fight.
Where's my mouse? You already have a full turret spread. You had here, I think. And then you just wasted one putting it there. That's fine, that's also okay.
Oh, nice.
But then you're putting turrets up again. And he's about to put another one up here. And you're literally just wasting turrets. This is another huge waste of resources. The sim. You could have more turrets for the end fight here. This is almost fine, except let's go back a little bit to the right. I'm gonna put this on half speed. So, this wall's fine, but this Reinhardt, when you waiting for him to charge you, basically what happens is he's holding down S here for a moment instead of just strafing, and that's kind of like trying to run straight away from the bullet instead of getting out of the way, and you get smacked from the pin by it. You should have been pinned fully, but you bounced off. Let's also turn off half volume. Half speed. This sounds terrible. Yeah. Should have died to that. The wall is okay, though I'd actually put it a little bit closer to the barriers so it actually shields your turrets fully. Because it would still work as a shield to bounce around. But you could actually close shield your turrets so they're almost impossible to hit.
Nice one.
Biscuit, can you go Winston again?
And here's
Alright.
Alright, so
more than a strange call
what I'd
out.
like you to do is I want you
Go
to
free, free.
So if you can wall off the room on the right side of the.
Okay, so for some reason you're asking him to do a Winston instead of Ryan when you just want him to wall off the side of the point or the side of the choke so that you can TP through, which is already another bad use of resources. You're asking him to burn Winston bubble just on entry, which you don't really want to do, and you could get away free with Ryan Shield. You could ask for a Diva instead. So once again, I really want to burn resources with Diva doing that. On a Ryan ideally.
Choke, then I'll go in and I'll place the teleporter straight to the point.
He's basically just saying TP. Give to it here.
Alright, Winston, just wall off the door here.
Winston does it a bit late, but he was just asking to wall off that door, so your team basically didn't get shot on entry. The thing is, you didn't even need it because they weren't really shooting here anymore. It was just a Widow who was missing you. And then you walk back through TP. Because, I don't know if you noted, but you can actually hold down Teleporter to interact with it immediately. And I think you're pressing or something because you just walk past it or you mess up your timing. But the thing is, then you walk backwards and then you stop in the middle of the point. Yeah, you stop right here. And that makes you closest to the brig and the Winston, and you're dead.
Brig is half.
You really want to immediately walk to the back of the point here. You want to be back here
Here, Vido.
in the corner. You want to be away from the team, the Symmetra, because you're one of the most fragile heroes in the game. You don't want to be face first to their team.
So I have a strat for the
And
next point.
honestly, you should have lost this point, but your team clutches it out. So honestly, that might be up to the other teams in confidence. The Widow could have free fired your team for the high ground she was on her as well.
Up on the right side. Don't go
And
main.
honestly, you
Follow
all
me
should
to
have
the
died for this. Over here, you're going far left, up to high ground. This is actually not a bad idea, especially with your team. You have Reaper, Hog, Winston, Lucio, and I'm not sure what your healer was, Mercy or something. This actually isn't bad. Though, on entry here, you just kind of drop into the middle of the team with Sim into, I think, a Moira and a Reaper and a Winston. You should have died for this. This is some more really bad positioning. You did end up getting a beat, but this would basically be suicide normally. And Genji Blade, there's not too much with that though.
Focus Brig, if you can.
Normally when you,
Moira.
I'm not sure if your TP is off cooldown, but if you do hear a Blade, you generally want to just plop your TP down if you can.
TP behind the point.
No, I'm not quite off cooldown. Yeah, the important thing to take away here is you need to improve your positioning a lot. You're just kind of setting yourself up to be shot. And you might not be getting punished a lot in these games, but I figure outside of this match in particular, you should be getting killed a lot for your positioning. And setting yourself up to be killed. Yeah, that's pretty much gonna be it. I hear you throw some turrets in early and get some orb spam on point so you get some value before you're there. That's pretty good.
Where did I say?
That's his notification, not mine. In case you're wondering. Yeah, here you could have zoned a little bit better against Winston to get charge off him sooner. This is pretty much fine.
Low? Where low?
Focusing the more over the Winston when you get the chance there is good.
GG.
And nothing too wrong with that. That's
Thank
pretty
you for
fun.
following the strat.
And yeah,
Yeah, that's pretty sick.
pretty much gonna be it for this game.
Nice shot of calls.